What's up, guys? Ninja on a ninja. The fireworks to announce the arrival of the greatest auditor slash philosopher slash businessman slash daddy slash alpha slash king. All that crap has arrived. But anyways, um, I just want to make this video real quick because I was originally gonna just leave it as a comment because it honestly doesn't matter. Well, most of the comments don't really matter. It's just kind of opinions. But I felt this one actually has a weight to it, and society could benefit from knowing about this exchange. The fact that um, you know that this happens, and this will explain and basically it'll help unite the division between people is my point of this. So you gotta watch the video. Not that, that's something else. You gotta watch the video. Boom. Okay, so this is Professor Dave Explains. Alright, now first off, again, I don't know if Professor Dave is actually a professor. I think it's just something he calls himself. Um, but I don't think it's actually true. Um, I doubt his credibility as far as professor goes. I'm pretty sure it's bullshit. But anyways, I don't know. I'm assuming because he is such a good sellout that the um, the algorithm supports him, and the algorithm is basically what the rich decides. He is stupid and helps lead people off a cliff, so he does well in the algorithm. Unlike he's like Trump compared to Bernie Sanders, basically. He helps the herd jump off cliffs, so the rich help by guiding people to him so that they run off cliffs, right? There's a reason why Bernie Sanders can fill stadiums but not chat rooms, right? That's what's going on. Okay. So, anyways, so I'm trying to think. We'll play the video. I was gonna put. We'll just play the video, anyways.
So the bottom of the barrel is I didn't come from a monkey, right? You
So, real quick, we'll start over again. Just because I want to show you, we didn't start in the middle of nowhere randomly. This is the beginning of his clip. Okay, it just drops us in the middle of the discussion, and we don't know the context. We don't know whatever. And Professor Dave um, doesn't explain it or spell it out or whatever. Just here's a clip, boom, and that to me is telling that he isn't a professor because most actual professor-minded people are really like, okay, so there's a plan. We have a script. It entails a intro, three bodies, and a conclusion. And so my point is, they explain the whole system, whereas him, he seems kind of thrown on there. You know what I mean? Like it's, and so, anyways.
so the bottom of the barrel is I didn't come from a monkey, right? Really that person doesn't understand even the first thing. They don't understand 6th grade level biology, right? Then there are other people who kind of better understand what evolutionary biology dictates, but then reject it for other reasons. So you kind of have to come at,
So go back.
so the bottom of the barrel is I didn't come from a monkey, right? Really that person doesn't understand even the first thing. They don't understand 6th grade level biology, right? Then there are other people who
So okay, I didn't come from a monkey. Now this is what I said. So the difference, because again, we don't know what the point is, or what he's trying to get across, or where he's coming from. We don't know the scenario, but this is how my mind took it, right? So the difference between monkey and apes to people who know there is a difference is astounding. Okay. So people who know the difference, okay? There's no denying that. Okay. Now here's the thing. But to people who don't know that there is a difference, it's just a blanket statement being made. And they mean monkeys as in everything. Everything that a monkey could be, which includes a gorilla, a baboon, a chimpanzee, and everything. And everything, basically. Right? And so, the word monkey to you as a intelligent man or educated man means one specific thing, but to somebody who isn't as educated, it's a general statement, right? So that's kind of what I'm trying to point out. And so I said this is the issue with nerds and meatheads. This is why middlemen exist today. This is why you need auditors, basically. Because you don't know, or you know and they don't know, right? Those are the two scenarios. Either you know and they don't. Oh, I shouldn't say those are the two scenarios, because it could be you don't know and he don't know, you know he don't know, you don't know he know, you know he know. You know what I'm saying? It could be any of those. But my point is that's what it is, and and because there's confusion, the third man, the middleman, right, has to come in and to clarify and explain, because you're educated, but you're not smart enough to see it, right? You're not big enough to see the complexity that exists in this system. You don't understand that when he says monkey, he means ape and chimpanzee and gorilla and all that shit. And then when you say monkey, you mean monkey and you don't mean chimp. And so there's a difference. And you don't see it. And so that's what gives rise to the need of a third man, right? So, as far as the video, I don't know what the point is or where you're trying to get at. I am assuming that this is, if you're like, it's as if you're talking to someone who doesn't believe in the stoned ape theory, essentially. Okay, that's weird. Not tried. Try. Okay. Try, not tried. Tried, anyways. So, yeah. So, my assumption, again, and I brought that as an example, right? The stoned ape theory. That was just an example. Basically, I don't believe we came from apes, or I don't believe we came from monkeys or chimpanzees or gorillas, right? And so my point is, I don't believe we came from monkeys. And again, you see monkey as a specific thing. I think you even point out that we didn't come from monkeys, we came from chimpanzees. Like, you point that out. And my point is that that other guy, that's what he meant when he said monkey. He was talking about chimpanzee, but he's not as educated as you, so he just said monkey as a kind of default. Just whatever. Gorilla's in there too, because it's just a default. He's just explaining it, right? And so that's what gives rise to the middleman. There's a breakdown of communication here, and the middleman is just explaining it. The problem is this corrupt middleman, and they'll take advantage of both parties in that sense and leave you both fucked up because it'll benefit them, right? That's natural. That's the problem with capitalism unleashed is eventually you get to the point where people who don't deserve the money get the money and they just try to get more money even though it's not good. You know what I'm saying? And so you need socialism to step in because it needs to balance the system out again. Yeah, it's yours and you deserve it, but what have you done for me lately? What have you done for the world lately? It was your house and it was your home, or I forgot the debate, but it just you lose. Like you're taking up a 10-person home for two people to live there because it's yours and because yours. Like, anyways, that's a whole debate for another topic for another day. So as far as the video goes, we don't know. I don't know what you're talking about, your main point, but I brought up this monkey stuff. Um, don't the point you're trying to make to get at. I'm assuming that this is you're talking about someone who doesn't believe that we came from monkeys, and I used the Stone Ape theory as an example. Okay, we covered that. Boom. And my point was try to be more clear with your intent so people who watch know what the fuck you're talking about. Not everyone's on your in your book. You selfish bastard. You existed once upon a time. You were the kind of douchebag that was like we are the center of the universe or the sun rotates around us. Like you have yourself in mind to that level. Like you're narcissistic to that level, right? You can't be a supporting character in your book. You can't. You're too pathetic. You're too much of a loser. So, anyways, so now we get to the last bit. But anyways, yeah, that's why auditors exist because nerds like you and normal people who basically use monkey to explain every kind of monkey, even if it's gorillas or chimps and they're not monkeys, quote unquote, according to the whatever, I don't care. Right, it's just according to whatever the fuck that does whatever. Like, sure, if you want to be a girl, fine. If you want to be a guy, fine. Where I'm not. I don't care. I'm just passing by, whatever. Right. Just going through. Like, don't mind me. Just excuse me. Pardon me. Coming through. Okay. That's it. I don't care. Right. But I'm also not gonna be like, get that fuck out of the way, kid. It's all about me. Fuck you, people. And how you got a stupid sand castle. Like, I'm not an asshole. I'm not like Dave. Right. So yeah. So normal people. Nerds like you and normal people generally don't get along. They say monkey, and you didn't understand that from their perspective, it doesn't mean as much as it does for you because their logical tree doesn't break it down as much as yours does. This, so I think that's a good key point there. Their logic is not your logic, and you fail to understand that. That's what creates a middleman, like me, because I need to clarify. Because it's like basically what I am is a translator in a sort of sense, where it's like you're saying something, and I'm translating it to you so you know what I'm saying, and now or they know what you're saying, and so your statement is now in their head, and from their head, I take what they said and they're stupid or whatever, and translate it into smart speak so you understand it. Because again, there's a division, and that's where the philosophers take over because they can see that they are like the third eye, so to speak. They can see that kind of situation playing out, and they can take control of it. This is why philosophers, such as myself, reign supreme, and why I think the nerds like you for creating such a need and demand for people like me. And I put money, 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 money sign. I put 4 money signs, right? Because that, like, that logical breakdown, or it's like you don't understand that when that guy said that he doesn't believe that we came from monkeys, he doesn't mean monkeys. He means everything that can be implied from the word monkey. Gorilla, chimpanzee, everything. Because again, he doesn't have the education that you do. And you, as a nerd, don't understand that you have an education that he doesn't have. And so now you need me to explain this is what's going on, right? And again, I can only do that as a philosopher because I can think with my third eye. You can't. That nerd, you're the nerd, so the casual can't, right? And I can come in and I can take sides with you or the casual, but instead I'm taking a third position and explaining he's saying this, he's saying that. Now I make them equal, and boom, now you guys get it, and then you pay me, $100 or whatever, and I go away, and that's it. That's all I did. As I helped you exist, that's it. I go home and eat my bowl of cereal. That's whatever, right? But anyways, I left that comment on your video, but because I feel that the basic the message that came from the comment, I feel would help the world understand, right? There's no problem. There's no issue with being a nerd. There's no issue with being a common man or not being as educated in that field. You don't know what's called education. You can be an engineer, you can be this, you can be that. You have your own language essentially. I am just coming in and I'm helping the engineer talk to the chemist. That's all I'm doing. It's just you don't see you're talking this engineer talk and he's talking chemistry talk, and I'm helping them break it down so they can communicate and talk to one another. That's what the third man is. Now the problem is the third man can be corrupt, and he can fuck it up to the point where you both give him the keys to your cars, and next thing you know, he owns both of your cars now because you don't realize or didn't realize that you're signing it over because he tricked you and he took advantage of you. And people like that exist, and that's kind of what the problem is. The world has too many fakers, basically. And this is what traffic. This is what I mean when I say traffic is out there, and people are liars and people are pretenders. People fake it until they make it, and blah blah blah, and they get in the way. And you're trying to get through. You're just trying to cut the grass, but you don't understand your lawnmower. So, as me as a third as a philosopher, I come in and I explain to you this is what you need to do to fix your lawnmower. You fix your lawnmower, get back on track. You know what I'm saying? That's how it should go. But there's so much traffic in the world that next thing you know, you had to go and buy a whole new lawnmower, and it cost you an arm and a leg to buy a new lawnmower, and all that happened was, oh, you just ran out of gas. That's it. You know what I'm saying? So again, I'm dumbing it down, make it very simple, really easy to follow. And some nerds like Dave may not understand because I'm using base words that he doesn't understand. That it's just base. There is no, it's just a generalization. I don't mean the specific or blah blah blah. Like, I'm not trying to make anyone hate this or hate that. It's neutral. There's no fucking, it's just I'm alpha, I'm king, and I carry that with me. And so that intimidation or that kind of like you feel that you need to push back, that's natural. That's what happens when you feel intimidated or threatened. And I understand that as a response because again, I'm the alpha, I'm the natural. I just exist. I naturally have that energy, right? And you either need to accept it or people will fight me. I've had many people fight me just because I'm trying to just this is the truth. This is the truth. This is the way. right? This is the way. So, anyways, that's all I'm trying to say. So, be well, be happy, be safe, take care, be loved, be awesome, be respectful to one another. Share the world, share the life, share the happy. Um, don't pull up ladders behind you, and yeah, don't let the door hit you or the Lord split you in peace. Come on.